Hey everybody, I'm Carolyn Byers. I'm the Education Director at Madison Audubon, and this is week number 2 of summer camp. Mammals! Awesome! So I'm so excited for this week. Bird Week was fun, and I love birds, but mammals are super cool. So let's see what we have to talk about today. I'm going to tell you a little bit about summer camp in general. We're going to talk more about mammals. And maybe you can hear my kiddo. He's not napping so well today. We'll see how it goes. And then I have a mystery mammal pelt to show you. It's very exciting. Okay, so summer camp is an amazing free virtual camp that we've created for anyone and everyone. Hey, enough. So we had someone deliver a package to my house and they rang the doorbell. Very exciting. Sorry, everybody. Okay, so summer camp is an awesome, the package was for my neighbor too. It's an awesome free program that we created for anyone and everyone, especially elementary school kids and middle school kids. And it's a great way to explore nature virtually this summer. And let's see, week 1 was all about birds, and you can still access all of those lessons if you want to. You don't have to do them in order. Play by your own rules. This is week 2, it's mammals. Next week is going to be herptiles, which is reptiles and amphibians smashed into one week. So cool. And week 4 is insects. And we've tested them already this summer. They're all great lessons, so enjoy them. So let's see. Let's talk about mammals and how marvelous they are. And while we're doing that, while we're getting ready to do that, I'm going to hop onto our Facebook page so that I can see all of the comments that you're making live. Here we go. So if you are a part of camp, or if you've just found this now, say hi, drop me a comment because I want to say hi to you. And I see Alba and Anders saying hey, and Nyson and Asmi, that's awesome. And Freddie's here. Woo! We've got everybody. This is great. All right, so we're getting super excited about mammals. And I have a mammal sighting to share with you. And actually, I have a mammal right here. This is my cat, Darwin. And he came by to see my mystery mammal pelt that I want to share with you. I don't know where he came from. He was hiding before. So I have a mystery mammal pelt for you. And Darwin is very excited about it. He wants to sniff it. So this is an animal that you can find in neighborhoods. They also live out in forests or at the edge of prairies. They have very, very thick fur. Can you see my fingers running through that fur? It's got very thick, warm fur. It's a little thinner now, probably in the summer. If you know what this animal is, you can type it into the comments. And this animal... all right, and let me show you its tail. The tail is a really easy way to identify it. And if you happen to have this Madison Audubon field guide for kids, this animal's in there. So you can flip through it if you want, or you can flip through your own field guide. And this is available for free on our website. And I will drop a link in the comments later so that you can go and check this out on your own. So I'm going to wait for the lag to catch up. Oh, it looks like Freddie and Nyson ID'd it. That's awesome. Yeah, this is a raccoon. And the way I identified it first was by this big bushy ringed tail. And this is a pretty common animal. So I'm sure a lot of you saw it right away and knew. But they also have this grizzly gray fur. And this pelt, it doesn't have the face of the raccoon on it. But if it did, you could see the raccoon's mask. So let me show you a picture from the field guide of what this animal looks like. And mammals are at the front. So here we have our picture of a raccoon, and this is a very young raccoon in the picture. You can see the face mask and that bushy ringtail. But in this field guide, you can also see the footprints. And this is the front foot and this is the back foot. And the front feet, I think, look very human. They have 5 fingers, and one of them, they don't use it like we use our thumb, but it definitely looks a little bit more like a thumb than a finger. So whenever I'm walking around in a muddy park near Madison or near another city, I like to look for raccoon tracks because they're pretty easy to see. And you know what? On the page right next to it is our red fox. And later this week on Wednesday, I'm going to be doing a lesson on urban canids. And let's talk about that. Urban means city, and canids is another way of saying canine. And foxes and coyotes and wolves and dogs all belong in the canine family. So we're going to talk about urban canids. Those are canines that live in cities. So I'm super excited for that. It'll be fun. Join us Wednesday. Okay, so you got my mystery raccoon, and we have another video all about mammal furs if you're interested in watching it. And I think I'll link that in the comments too, so you can check it out later. All right, so mammals are marvelous. What makes a mammal? They have fur, right, or hair, depending on the type of mammal. They give birth to live young, usually. There are a few monotremes that are the exception. They do lay eggs. They make milk for their babies. What a cool thing. You can feed your babies with your own body. It's awesome. Mammals are warm-blooded, which means that they can regulate their own body temperature using their body. So it does make us more comfortable if we're too hot and we move into the shade, or if we're too cold and we move into the sun. But we can also shiver to get warm, or we can sweat to stay cool. And this helps us, because I say us because humans are mammals, but this helps us and all mammals live in a lot of different climates that might be more challenging if we couldn't regulate our own body temperature. If we couldn't help our bodies warm themselves, it'd be harder to live in cold places, right? Same with sweating. If we couldn't sweat, it'd be harder to live in a desert, for sure. And mammals have really, really complex brains, and we're very good at working through problems, and we have very complex social structures too. So it's really interesting to learn about mammals because mammal social structures usually are pretty interesting. And I love mammals because humans are mammals. And because we're a little bit more closely related to them, I think it's a little easier to imagine what it might be like to live like that animal, or think about how that animal sees the world. I don't know if you remember when we were talking about birds last week, birds can see different light waves than we can. And so they look at the world in a different way than we do. Mammals, some of them have much better eyesight than ours. Some of them don't have eyes that are quite as good as ours. But usually they can all still see the same light frequencies. And so other mammals typically experience the world in a way that's more similar to us, at least as compared to an insect per se. So I think mammals are really neat because I can relate to them a little bit. They have a lot of cool adaptations that I love learning about, all of their claws and fur and teeth and tails. Mammals use their tails in a lot of neat ways too. And so I just love learning about mammals. So let's see. Let's go back to the birds. Let me flip back in my notes and see how many species of birds we had. Some scientists think we have about 10,000 species of birds in the world, remember. And we were also talking about how because of genetics and scientists studying genetics, it might be more like 18,000 species of birds. That's a lot. So in the entire world, scientists think there are about 5,416 species of mammals. So about 5,000 species of mammals and about 10,000 species of birds-ish. So there's fewer species of mammals in the world, which is just really interesting to compare that, I think. So in Wisconsin, there are 69 native species of mammals. And that's a pretty high number too. And if you start thinking about what mammals you know in Wisconsin, when I start rattling off the common ones, I don't get anywhere near 69. So there are a lot of mammals living in Wisconsin that we don't think about every day. And those are really neat too, all those secretive ones. So I think another reason I think mammals are cool is because some of them are really easy to see, and they're not so secretive, and they live right next to humans, right? Let's think about them. Squirrels, chipmunks, raccoons, What else? Deer are pretty easy to find. But then there are mammals that are really secretive, and you might study them for years if you're a scientist and never actually see them. You might only see their footprints or their fur or their scat. And mammals like that are bobcats and mountain lions and fishers and wolves to some extent. I think you might see a little bit more of them. But there are mammals that are very good at staying hidden from humans. So there's a little something for everybody. Whatever you like, there's a mammal that you can identify with. So I really love talking about spark animals, right? And a spark animal is one that makes you excited and want to learn more about that type of animal. So I'm going to tell you my spark mammal, and if you have a spark mammal, you can write it in the comments and share it with me. And if you want to tell me why it's your spark mammal, I would love to hear that too. Okay, so my spark mammal is a squirrel, which isn't super exciting, I know. But my parents loved having bird feeders when I was a kid, and they always kept them filled, and there were always tons of birds around. But that also meant that there were always lots of squirrels around, always trying to eat our birdseed. And I remember my dad trying to build new and different kinds of bird feeders that the squirrels either couldn't get into or couldn't destroy. So sometimes he was more okay with them eating the food as long as they didn't destroy the bird feeder. But I always remember watching the squirrels and watching them kind of battle each other to be king or queen of the bird feeder and see who was going to be on the bird feeder that day. So squirrels are definitely my spark mammal. And now I have a bird feeder in my yard, and my kid loves watching him too. And so do I, and so do my cats. We all watch the squirrels. And I have a whole lesson on squirrel behavior if you're interested in learning more about that. So it looks like Alba and Anders, they love squirrels and they enjoy watching them too. That's cool. Thanks for telling us your spark mammal. All right, so let's see. What kind of lessons do we have this week that I am excited for? I love a good sit spot. Any time where I get a moment to just sit and soak in nature is good with me. So I am super excited to sit and look and listen for birds and also mammals this week. So my whole front yard is dug up in vegetables. I plant lots of tomatoes and Brussels sprouts and peppers and beans, all of those things. But we also have a pretty healthy chipmunk population in our yard. So I really like watching them pop out of their holes and come back down and scurry around the yard. Those are fun. So I hope to see them during my sit spot because I want to write about it in my nature journal. If anyone else is writing things down in their nature journal, let me know about it in the comments. Oh, we have more spark animals. Nyson says his spark animal is baby bunnies. Oh, I love baby bunnies. They're really cute. Yes. And Esme's spark mammal is a red fox. That's great. We have red foxes in Middleton. That's where I live. And once I was out walking my dog, and there was a red fox on the sidewalk, and she was maybe half a block ahead of us. And we were walking, and I thought she would just keep on going, because usually foxes like to keep well away from people. And as I was walking, the fox looked at me, and it kind of did not a bark like a dog would do, but it was more like like something like that. She made that noise, and then she walked a little bit of ways away from us, turned around, looked at us, made the noise again, and then kept on walking. And she did that 3 or 4 times. And we were very close to a really big bush near a house. And I think she had a den under that bush, and she was trying to lure us away from her pups, her kits. And that was a really neat experience for me, because usually I see an animal, maybe they see me, and then they keep going. But animals don't typically try to also interact with me. And it was really cool that she was trying to get me to do something. And of course we did it, because I didn't want to stress her out. We left really quickly. But that was really neat. So I was really lucky to see that red fox. And Esme, I hope you get to see a red fox sometime too. Maybe you have already. Maybe that's why it's your spark animal. That's cool. All right, so I said I was excited for sit spots. I was excited to write in my nature journal. I am very excited to look for scat. And I want to tell you all my best scat trick is to get a really good poking stick so that you can poke the scat and see what that animal's been eating. But the key to a good poking stick is that it is strong and it's long enough that your fingers don't touch the poop. So when you find some animal poop or animal scat, if an adult says it's okay, you can get a big strong stick and poke the poop and try to find out what they've been eating. Maybe you'll see some berries. Maybe you'll see bones. Maybe you'll see a lot of fur. Maybe it'll just be a pet animal and it'll just look like Play-Doh, all one color, all one texture. It's a neat way to explore what an animal's been eating and what they're doing in your neighborhood. And then finally, I am very excited for the game Move Like Mammals, where you get to make tracks using water on a sidewalk or on your driveway, because it has been hot out, and anytime I get to play with water, I'm excited about it. So if you have any cool pictures or videos from your summer camp activities, send them our way. We want to see them. And if you have anything else you want to say to me, I'm almost done with this lesson here. Well, more a celebration of Mammal Week. So type them in the comments. I want to hear about what you're saying. And maybe I'll show you my raccoon fur again. I really like, what do I really like? I really like these little white tufts on the sides of their heads. Ooh, someone else says their spark mammal are cheetahs. That's cool. Cheetahs are beautiful and they are so powerful and fast. I think they're a really cool creature too. I would love to see one in the wild someday. That'd be a big trip though. Not in Madison. I like this little raccoon tail too. Who else? Any more spark animals? Any questions? Anyone excited about any of the activities we're doing this week? I think I might try to get out hiking tomorrow morning. I'll do some work tonight in the evening so I can get out and do that. But I want to go and explore a little during the day when it's nice out. Okay, everybody. Well, I think that about wraps up our Mammal Week kickoff. I'm so excited to see what you all get up to. Oh, Freddie says his spark animal's a red panda. Awesome. Those are one of my favorite to see at the zoo. We're lucky in Madison and we've got one at the zoo. Yeah, spark animals, spark mammals. Okay, everyone, have a really great Mammal Week, and I'll see you on Wednesday for my urban canid lesson. Bye, everyone. Enjoy.